Pi Network update, $100 million fund launched, but why did the token crash 25%? Imagine this, a crypto project everyone's been watching finally makes a massive announcement. They unveil a $100 million fund, meant to back innovative startups and drive long-term ecosystem growth. You'd expect the price of the token to shoot through the roof, right? But what if I told you that the exact opposite happened? That instead of soaring, the token tanked, dropping over 25% in just 24 hours. That's not fiction. That's exactly what happened with Pi Network. After weeks of cryptic social media teasers and speculative buzz, Pi Network made its big move on May 14th. The core team officially launched a $100 million investment initiative, a bold step forward that was supposed to take Pi to the next level. The fund is structured in both USD and Pi tokens and is designed to support startups working on real-world utility for Pi's blockchain. The strategy, on paper, made sense. Build value, support innovation, and show the crypto world that Pi isn't just about hype but has real long-term potential. The announcement sent a clear signal: Pi was getting serious. And initially, the market responded. Speculators flooded in, pushing Pi's price up past the $1.50 mark for the first time since March 16. Excitement grew as the token surged in the days leading up to the announcement. Pi even briefly broke into the top 20 cryptocurrencies by market capitalization. For a moment, it felt like the beginning of a new chapter for the project, validation for early adopters and a sign that the core team was ready to take the next step. But just 24 hours after the big reveal, things went south. Fast. By the early hours of May 15, Pi had plummeted to 85 cents, losing more than a quarter of its value. Its market cap, which had been over $9 billion just 3 days prior, shrank to $6.2 billion, knocking Pi out of the top 20 and pushing it down to 29th place. For a token that had shown so much promise, the drop wasn't just disappointing, it was shocking. So what happened? The answer lies in the expectations, and in the crypto market, expectations are everything. While the $100 million fund is significant in the long run, many in the community were hoping for something more immediate. In the days leading up to the announcement, rumors swirled. Some believed Pi was about to announce a major exchange listing, possibly even on Binance. Others hoped for a mainnet breakthrough or a partnership with a major tech company. Instead, what they got was a strategic, but not market-moving, announcement about long-term development. That's when the accusations started flying. On X, formerly Twitter, users began accusing the Pi Network team of deliberately hyping up the announcement to boost the token's price ahead of the dump. One user, who goes by the handle DAOWorld, criticized the core team's handling of the situation. He suggested that the team had misread the mood of the community and failed to deliver. Nothing worthy of the anticipation they created. He wrote, in the crypto market, such timing and presentation can backfire, especially if they don't meet the community's expectations. It makes one wonder whether the core team lacks the ability, or perhaps doesn't feel the need to read the sentiment of the community. His take wasn't unique. Across the platform, other users echoed similar frustrations, calling out what they saw as a missed opportunity. The thinking was clear: had the team packaged the fund announcement with additional updates, or had they simply released it without the build-up, the market might have reacted more positively. Instead, the announcement became a textbook case of buy the rumor, sell the news, a familiar pattern in crypto where traders ride the wave of hype only to cash out as soon as the real news hits, especially if it doesn't match the community's expectations. The response from Pi's supporters was swift, with some trying to calm the storm. A pro-Pi Network media outlet, The Times of Pi Network, urged the community to look past short-term price fluctuations. They insisted that the core team's focus has never been on price, but on building a sustainable, scalable ecosystem. And there's some truth to that. Pi's vision has always been about long-term adoption, real-world integration, and bringing crypto to the masses through accessible, mobile-first solutions. From that perspective, the $100 million fund is an important step. It could provide the fuel needed to power early-stage companies building on Pi, creating use cases that drive organic demand for the token. But the reality is that crypto markets don't often reward patience. The pressure is now on the Pi Network team to turn this fund into something tangible. Investors and holders need to see results, startups being funded, partnerships being formed, real products being built on Pi. Otherwise, the fund risks becoming another well-intentioned announcement that fades into the background. There's also a deeper lesson here about how crypto projects handle communication. In an environment where attention spans are short and price speculation dominates, it's critical to balance hype with reality. Build expectations too high, and even a solid development can seem like a letdown. That's what seems to have happened here. The core team's intention may have been pure, but the way they presented the news backfired. Now, let's be clear, this doesn't mean Pi Network is finished or that the token won't recover. In fact, it's likely that many long-term holders still believe in the project's core vision. Pi has a huge community, a unique mining model, and a framework that could position it well for broader adoption. But confidence is a fragile thing in crypto. And recovering from a 25% crash following what was meant to be a major milestone won't be easy. It's a turning point for the project. What the core team does next will determine whether this was just a temporary setback or the start of a larger unraveling. If the fund is well executed, if meaningful startups get real support, and if those startups build tools that people want to use, Pi could bounce back stronger than ever. But if not, if the momentum dies out, and utility fails to materialize, then this crash may be remembered as the moment the Pi dream began to lose its shine. For now, all eyes are on the Pi Network's next move. Investors are watching. Developers are watching. The entire crypto community is watching. Because in this space, hype is cheap. Execution is everything. So what do you think? Was the announcement overhyped? Or is this the beginning of something truly game-changing for Pi Network? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to like the video, subscribe for more in-depth crypto coverage, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss what comes next. Thanks for watching, and remember, in crypto, timing might be everything. But trust is the real currency.